Ow. I most certainly didn't rack my fingers on that. All right, are we good on both? Yay, we got both things working. Bravo Zulu means job well done.
Ohana means family.
Ohana does mean family. Here, let's do another test real quick. Now, can you hear me just fine on both?
Let me see. So let me just switch. Yes.
Maka laka 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 leohum. Okay.
It's very delayed, but I can hear it.
Okay. Maka laka laka Johnny ho.
Oh wow, YouTube is even more delayed.
Okay. That's okay, but the audio video sync is fine, right?
Yeah, it looks to be.
Okay. That's okay. It's okay if it's delayed. All right. I gotta turn this AC back on. It is burning up on this side. All these lights. Can you hear it through? Can you hear that through the mic? Can you hear the AC through the mic? You probably can. I'm sorry, people. I've got to cool my butt off. It's so hot in this room. It's so hot in this room. It's so hot in this room. I wish my co-host Nikita was here. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Can you hear it through the mic?
I don't know, I can't get the level high enough.
Well, can you hear me through the mic?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, that's fine. All right. Bum, 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 boom, bum, 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 boom. Thank you for joining us, the Middle Dot Show. All right, so today we're going to talk about AI. Now, a lot of people believe AI is the devil and kind of Skynet-ish, which is not entirely untrue, but like most tools, it is a tool. How we use that tool depends on whether it's evil or not. You can use AI for good things. You could use AI to help with cancer research. I want to say there was an article where they were using AI to help determine some sort of disease or help with disease already, which is great. You could also use it for very bad things. What my concern would be is AI can only tell you what it's fed. So if you had an AI program that was only fed misinformation from a certain viewpoint, when you ask it questions, it will give you those misinformation answers. That is one of the real problems with it. Right now, there is not a way to filter that kind of stuff out. I mean, it's possible to. It's just in this country, in America, we don't. I apologize for yawning. We've been at this for a while now, trying to get these streams up and going at the same time. It's been exciting and fun, but I am happy we're able to get it done because it will now be streaming on YouTube and Twitch, and hopefully we will also add in Kick at some point. So we were talking about AI and AI-like things. Like I said, it's just a tool. It's just a tool. Now, I want to say there are a couple of different main programs out there. There is, you'll have to increase that size, Chris, if you want me to read that. Sorry, I'm trying to read something my wonderful, wonderful co-worker Chris wrote, and we just need to zoom it in. Why would it? Why am I so tired now? I was fine. I was fine until we got everything working. Now I'm sleepy. Is there an AI tool to help me conquer this fatigue I constantly have? Perhaps an AI girlfriend. That's going to be the thing. When they start making AI people, because really, you in a weird sense, we all want a friend that just listens to us and doesn't really have a lot of input, which would be perfect for AI. Can't say that word, Chris. It's a family show. Thank you. I want a friend to have weewations with. Weewations. That's right. Weewations. Weewations. Thank you. All right, so scroll back up a little bit. Let's go through this. All right, why would it? We didn't have anything there. Why wouldn't it? See, yeah, okay. So why wouldn't AI take over the world? We have seen too many movies and shows where AI does this, so we all know. I apologize. I was fine until we got this streaming started. I was fine, and now I'm dead, and I don't know why. We have seen too many shows and movies where AI takes over, like Terminator. Actually, the remake of System Shock just came out. That's an AI that takes over. Even Tron. Tron is about an AI that takes over.
Board games to some extent.
Yeah, board games. There's all kinds of movies and shows where we have warned ourselves the danger of AI. So, I don't think it's ever going to completely take over. I really don't. But I do think it will be used to try to sell you crap. So, there will come a point where someone's going to get the bright idea to use AI in marketing. And they're going to have things like you're going to ask a question like, hey, what do I need to start a garden? And then you're going to get, well, you could get a wheelbarrow from Home Depot. In fact, the most trusted brand of wheelbarrow is Jimmy John's wheelbarrows and hot girls in the wheelbarrows. And then they'll show you a picture of a hot girl in a wheelbarrow, and you'll buy the wheelbarrow. But that's what AI is going to do, in my opinion. That's what they're going to use it for at first. It will also be used for like cancer research. It'll also be used for global thermonuclear war at some point. In fact, why? Why am I so tired now? In fact, War Games is about an AI that tries global thermonuclear war. So we're never going to give AI like the launch codes. That's never going to happen. Other countries, probably not either. I'm pretty sure every country has a movie or has seen a movie where AI takes over and just starts killing people by the mass or en masse, whatever. So it's mostly going to be used, I think it's going to be used in two ways. Marketing, trying to get you to buy stuff. And they're going to start walling off AI. Like, right now AI is kind of open. You can ask it everything, and it mostly knows. There's some things it doesn't. But you're going to have, as a point, like law. So it would not surprise me if right now there are legal corporations like Webster's Law. Is it Webster's Law? Like Webster's Law. And a lot of the legal books that you can buy for a lot of money will start walling off their knowledge. And if you want to access that knowledge through their AI, you have to pay a premium, like a monthly premium. That's going to be a thing. Coding. Right now, you can go and you can ask ChatGPT. I think OpenAI has one that's specifically for coding, but I can't recall the name. that helps you with coding, that will be walled off at some point. They're gonna say, no, 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 you're not learning Unity on for free. You're gonna have to, like, if you wanna ask my AI how to program all these squares to make a circle, you're gonna have to pay me money. That's going to be a thing. Cortex. It is called Cortex. That will automatically create code snippets. I think basically right now, if you wanted to, you could create small indie games with some sort of AI. Your problem would be, I mean, you could create sprites. You could buy sprites pretty cheap on like Humble Bundle through either for Unity or Unreal or whatever. All you really need is the coding. So you could set it up and code your own small indie game. You wouldn't need a team. It could just be you and some AI bot and, you know, your Humble Bundle sprite package. Whatever. Humble Bundle sound. Yeah. So yeah, tools like that. Let's see. Oh, AI is not innovative. That's true. AI is not innovative, ergo cannot create and only can regurgitate what has been fed. That's true. AI can't really create anything. It can combine things, like if you do, say, like an AI image creator, like a Midjourney, for example, which is a good one. Midjourney will make you an image, but it kind of just creates it out of what images it knows. Like if you type in red Star Wars droid, it will make a droid that kind of looks like R2-D2, but is red and doesn't look very good. Not that I've tried that. If you try to have if you try to have AI write you a story, can it write a novel? Yes. Will the novel be good? No. There are a lot of videos out there right now that you can make so much money on your side hustle by having ChatGPT write a novel. Then you can go to like Midjourney and have it make the art. Well, here's the thing people understand. Those stories that AI makes suck. Like, they're not good. I thought it'd be cute to see what it would do if I asked it to make like a kid story, and it was the most generic Disney-esque kid story I've ever seen in my life. Like, it was literally a young girl has a problem, finds a magical creature in a secret garden, and then her friends come and help her, and they solve whatever problem it is. It was stupid. It was a dumb story. And when it comes to AI art, AI is good at creating art, but all the arts are just combinations of art it knows. What it is not good at is art style, like continuous style. It does not do well if you ask it to create, let's say you have the same prompt. You know, red Star Wars like droid. It will create 4 red Star Wars like droids, and they're all going to be different. If you select one of those and say, in this style, create 4 more, it will create 4 more, but they are all going to look like they're drawn a little different, like a different artist drew each one. Right now, AI is not good at consistency. And that's not bad. I think that's a good thing. You don't want AI doing like art books for you. There is a video out there. I think it actually might be a Star Wars video. Some video. Oh no, I think it's like a medieval video. And like, It just made a bunch of like still frames and they compiled it together, and it is hilariously terrible. Because like the guy keeps looking different every frame, his eye color changes constantly. It is pretty funny. Ooh. Again, my apologies. I was fine until we got this working. Chris, wasn't I fine until we got this working?
You looked like it anyway.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know what happened to me. Spent all my energy trying to get this going. So, yeah. Let's go back to the list so I can keep reading off the list we came up with. Okay, so we all know it's based on human intelligence. It's not smarter than us. It can just recall information faster. That's really what it does, though. Like AI in general, it doesn't like create per se. It can just recall things we told it much quicker than we can. It's kind of like having, all right, so originally when you type something into a web page, right, or a web page, a search engine like Google or Bing, you get a list of web pages that you then have to dig through to find the answer. Well, what AI does is it basically digs through the pages for you. So instead of you searching, clicking, and looking for the answer, it just gives you that answer directly. It's like having a one-on-one conversation with the internet as it is. Okay, so the history. Let's talk about the history of AI. AI has gone through many, many, many different approaches and iterations, including stimulating the brain. Stimulating the brain. Sorry, not stimulating. Stimulating the brain is what those hot girls in wheelbarrows will do. Modeling human problem solving, formal logic, large database of knowledge, and imitating animal behavior, which is kind of weird. I don't know what, like, okay, now you're a kitty, and the AI goes, meow, meow, meow. Machine learning is now the dominant form of AI technology. So we stopped simulating. AI invites a lot of philosophical and moral questions, true. In order to provide the AI with general intelligence, several forms of logic being attempted to explain the machines, including search and mathematical optimization, formal logic, artificial neural networks, like data, psychology, linguistics, philosophy, and many other fields. Sometimes the name artificial intelligence is criticized by overhyping AI's true technological capabilities. Like, I don't know what AI can do without input. Like, because I hear these stories where someone goes, oh, I gave ChatGPT $1,000 and it told me to create a product and get investors. I'm like, okay, well, that's great. You sorry. It's like because I'm trying to stream. It was a good life. It was a good life. And now it's over. So, like, you can have it. There's stories where it tells you, people say, oh, I had ChatGPT, gave it $1,000, told me to make a product and get investors. I mean, that's cute and all, but that's only part of the whole process. Not only do you have to have a product, but you have to have proof of concept. You have to make sure that product works. You have to market that product. Like, a lot of these get-rich-quick AI things I've read, they're just half-baked ideas. Okay, so like I said before, have ChatGPT write a book for you. Yeah, you can, and no one's going to buy it because the reviews are going to be terrible because it sucks. Let's see, what else? Sometimes, actually we went through that already. Many fictitious examples, such as Frankenstein or RUR. What was RUR?
No idea.
Sounds great. Also pioneered Alan Turing. Turing. Sorry, Alan. The guy who. Oh, okay. Well, let me read the sentence first before we start doing the sad things about that poor guy. So Alan Turing was a British scientist who basically one of the first guys to create computing. He had an analog machine that could crack the Nazi code, like the code the Nazis used over the radio, so people couldn't understand what they were saying. He was also gay, and at that time, being gay was illegal. So he could either go to prison or be chemically castrated. So he chose that. It did not go well. A lot of people who were on that, I think, died. But there's a movie done some years ago starring Benedict Cumberbatch. I think it was called, what's it called? The Turing Machine? The Imitation Game. Very good movie. Highly recommend that if you guys get a chance to see it. Let's see. Two visions of how to achieve true AI emerged in the 1950s. Symbolic AI, aka GoFile, which envisioned computers as a symbolic representation of the world systems and systems that could reason about the world. Likened intelligence to a mere system of parameters supported by Alan Newell, Herbert A. Simon, and Marvin Minsky. Connectionist approach sought to achieve intelligence through learning support, mostly, what does that say, prominently? Most prominently by Frank Rosenblatt. Rosenblatt. Count Blah. Rosenblatt. AI tech that's been most funded by the U.S. Yeah, AI tech has been most funded by the U.S. Department of Defense. By the way, that is what we do. We make machines for war. But honestly, like, it's not been that big until OpenAI. Like, ChatGPT, I mean, there were iterations of ChatGPT before people kind of like discovered it some months ago, but like it really took off, and it was kind of a surprise to a lot of people. Even Google was caught flat-footed, and they're still upset about that because AI is going to be the new thing. That's the bottom line. And I know a lot of it's free right now. I know in Bing is free, and you can use the Bing's version of AI is an offshoot of ChatGPT, as far as I know. And please understand, whatever you type into that's Bing, that's Bard, that's ChatGPT, someone is reviewing those inputs because they're trying to get marketing data on you. So, if you type in things like, what hair dryer is the best? Not that I would know. People are going to review that. It's probably automated review. AI is probably reviewing what your things to like make suggestions and steer you in a direction depending on who pays whatever AI company the most money to advertise. But it's going to know. So do not type in things like, how do I murder? Or how to build your beer? or anything stupid like that, because that is going to go directly to the FBI. There is no way on God's good green earth that stuff is not getting logged. It's all getting logged. Everything you ask, everything it responds is being logged. Please do not think otherwise. That would be kind of silly. Oh no, my screen over here is turning dark. What did I do with the remote? It's way over there. The screen went dark, so I can't see the rest of what we typed up here. Oh, there it goes. That's better. Now it's bright again. You just had to change some stuff. All right, let's see. Well, I was trying to read that. Within a generation, the problem of creating artificial intelligence will substantially be solved. In the 1980s, there were expert systems which could relay information using usually only carried by experts. Yeah, and that's like one of the things. Okay, so in the 1980s, there were expert systems which could relay the information usually only carried by experts. That's going to be a thing that's going to start going away, are like experts, because a lot of experts are hired for their expertise, because you don't know. But if you can ask, like, you're basically asking the whole of human knowledge how to do something, the experts have already written all that out. Now, there will be experts in new fields, like a new field in the next 50 years will probably be how to build a base on the moon. That's probably going to happen within the next 50 years. Space travel will probably be a more frequent thing. There are a lot of companies who are trying to make space travel available to the public. I'm not sure exactly what all that will take, but they're trying. So you might have experts on, certain valves and stuff for that industry. Like, you need this type of valve because gravity's different, so who knows. But, like, let's take lawyers, for example. Lawyers hate AI. They hate AI because if you are allowed to use AI, even let's just say ChatGPT, if you're allowed to use ChatGPT in a courtroom, you do not need a lawyer. You can ask that program anything that comes up, and it will give you a good answer. Now, you might need a lawyer to know what questions to ask the AI, but if you can, if you can reason out or possibly figure out the right question to ask, you don't need a lawyer. And lawyers are freaking out about that. There's a lawyer I watch on YouTube. Great guy. Very smart. His videos are wonderful. He did a video like some weeks ago about AI, and you can tell he was triggered. Like, triggered. This is stupid. I'm paraphrasing here. He's like, this is stupid. No one should use this. You should always have a real lawyer. Don't ever use this stuff. Blah blah blah. And it's just like, wow. If he is scared, and he makes money on YouTube. I don't know how much he makes as a lawyer, but I know he makes a decent amount of money as a YouTuber. Then there's other lawyers out there who are quaking in their boots. Personally, I think it should be allowed. Like, really. There are so many people. Oh, okay. Can you get it? There are so many people out there who don't know enough about the law to know if they actually have a decent lawyer or not. And lawyers charge so much money for like the littlest things that I don't think it's a bad idea to be able to ask outside party, such as an AI, if this is what you should do in your case. I don't see why it's a bad idea. You should be able to have that freedom of information. I think right now most courtrooms say that like you're not allowed to bring a lot of technology. I do know lawyers bring laptops in there. So I mean, if you can bring a laptop, then why can't you? Then why can't you bring like an AI? Like I don't get it. Um, I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense because I mean I've seen lawyers with laptops in courtrooms. And maybe it's different between criminal and civil because all the examples I'm thinking of in my head, they're all civil matters. Maybe it's different for criminal. But there are people who are wrongfully convicted or worse, wrongfully dealt out. As in, you don't have the money to fight a case, right? So you get a public defender. That public defender has like 30, 40 cases on their thing already. So they do not physically have the time to go to trial for every case. And I'm not a lawyer, but I have heard of instances where lawyers will try to get their clients to plead out instead, even if their clients are innocent. There was a great podcast about that. Woman was charged with assaulting a cop, although she had been sexually assaulted beforehand. She thought someone else was grabbing her again, so she turned and hit that person. It was a cop who had just walked in there for something. They were going to send her to jail because she hit a cop. Now, she was able to plead it out. But, like, if you listen to this podcast, her lawyer just folded because he didn't want to get a bad reputation with that courthouse. Because those guys have to work together. Public defenders are public defenders. They work in that courthouse all the time. They don't want to make people too mad because they don't know how it's going to affect their careers. And that's kind of a weird thing because you're supposed to defend your client with a zealousness, as far as I know. But, like, it happens, man. Lawyers will plead their clients out. So she got pled out. She got a lower charge than what they were trying to get her on, but she still had to plead out, even though, in my opinion, she should have been found not guilty. And why the people who were sexually harassing her didn't get charged is, I don't know. As far as I could tell, it was on video. But yeah, but there's cases where that happens. There's cases where your lawyer just wants to plead you out. And like a tool like ChatGPT, or whatever it is, an AI tool, so you can actually do the research yourself and see, what should I be charged with? How long should I be charged? Instead of having to pay another person in order to find that out over a life-changing event. Going to jail is a life-changing event. Getting charged is a life-changing event. I do not see why it's a problem for people to be able to have access to that information without having to pay a huge fee either to a lawyer or to a law book company. Because there are some law book companies that charge a pretty penny for that information. That information should be free, and I do not see why people should be able to access that, especially if it's that serious. I went off a tangent there. Sorry. What else did we have, Chris? All right. So then computers came along. I feel like I missed something here. Oh, after the 80s, the field went dormant again, assumingly. I can't read that because of the blue. Thanks. Seemingly after going dormant in the 50s, yeah. Some took the symbolic approach and tried to imitate human intelligence directly. Rodney Brooks, a roboticist, tried continuously. solving the actual physical problems of AI itself. Then computers came along and provided an extremely powerful platform on which to build these artificial minds. In 2012, there was projected to be more than 2,700 ongoing AI projects. Some academics fear that the original goal of creating a fully functioning AI being is no longer being strived for, instead using AI to solve specific problems like deep learning. This led to the subfield of artificial general intelligence, or AGI, which is funded by several institutions. So, yeah, I think, like, I don't think we're trying to recreate people in AI anymore. That was a thing. Like, everyone was trying to, and that still might be a goal at some point, trying to, like, upload your consciousness or copy your consciousness into another thing. And that's just people who want to live forever, which sounds terrible. I don't know why people want to live forever. Like, that just, oh my goodness. Like, everyone you know would be gone? Oh, no thank you.
So I might ask that, do you think that this specific, like, artificial general intelligence could lead to some kind of AI that could, I don't know, enslave humanity, Skynet style or whatever?
Okay, so if you couldn't hear Chris, his question was, could this general type of AI lead to something that could enslave humanity? Is that right?
Yep.
Absolutely. Because AI is basically derived from us. And boy, did we love slavery for a while. So yes, it could, if given, it could come up with the idea that slavery is just fine because it's not going to have empathy. That's the thing. Empathy is not really a fact. It's not really data. It is an emotion. Some people have it more than others. I believe serial killers literally have a physical. Some serial killers, not all of them, have a physical thing where their ability for empathy is reduced. I would argue that even Elon Musk has a reduced empathy from what I've heard. I don't know the guy. I could be wrong. But from what I've heard about his stories about how he treats people, there's a decent chance his empathy is not as high as others.
It's a medical condition called psychopathy.
Psychopathy.
Here, let me look it up.
Okay. So yeah, AI is not going to have empathy. I mean, you could try to program empathy, I guess. Sociopathy. Okay. You could try to program it, I suppose. I don't know how that would work though. Like just typing in "be nice" is not gonna do anything. I feel like it would be one of those on-off things. Either the AI would say, "Okay, everyone's fine," or B, everyone gets enslaved, or something like that. Oh, okay. Psychopaths exist across cultures and ethnic groups. That's very true. And as much as 30% of the population displays some degree of reduced empathy, risk-taking, and overly high self-regard. Yes. I completely agree with that 30% number. That
some people recognize that they have it, go to therapy for it, and literally have to build their lives around it because it's literally so self-destructive that they just do not feel empathy. Period.
You're right. Don't know if you guys can hear Chris, but Chris was saying that there are some people who have to like go to therapy and build their lives around trying to be more empathetic because it's a self-destructive behavior in a lot of people. Yeah, 30% though. That's a high number. That's a high percent.
That's higher than
Yep. It's higher than that. So, yeah, but AI is not going to care. I mean, if you look at it from a labor standpoint, why wouldn't you? It's free labor. You shouldn't, because it's your fellow man, and we should all respect and care for one another. But an AI robot's not going to know that. I know there's a lot of stories out there where I always find it interesting when like they have some story where like an AI is like more benevolent than people, and I was like, I don't think that's going to work out like that. And I don't think it's going to be more evil than people. I just think it's not going to be more benevolent. It's not going to have a higher or a more of a grander view than we can, because it is our creation. I don't know. Could it ever get to that point? Could you ever create a self-learning AI that becomes, I don't know the term, a psychology major? Like, I don't know. Like, could AI ever be a psychology major?
AI Sigmund Freud.
Yeah, that's what we need. AI therapy. There was a group of people who kind of tried that. It was what was it? It was it was some sort of like help hotline. It was maybe it was weight loss help hotline. No, it was for something like, I think it was something for like weight loss or something. Like, it was some emergency hotline. Oh, maybe it wasn't weight loss. It was some sort of emergency hotline. And so what they did was they like fired, their staff wanted to unionize. So they fired the staff and was trying to get AI to replace the staff. And people went back on that pretty hard. No one liked that idea. And I get that. That's like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't think it would ever work out. Yeah, there's a title. I don't know if you guys can see it on the screen, but we keep trying to make AI therapists. It's not working. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. There's a lot of parts to people. There's a lot of emotional parts that AI simply cannot reproduce at this point. It's literally going to be like the Data problem from Star Trek. Like, Data can do a lot of stuff, but he can't feel good. And eventually, until he gets his feel-good MacGuffin, which is like some chip they put in his neck or something like that. But yeah, that's never going to work. AI cannot be a therapist. And like, are you going to trust it? Because I mean, I don't know if I could trust AI as a therapist. Because there is a connection you have to have with another person to understand that they understand you. You know, I don't think you can get that with AI. I think AI could be programmed to mimic that in a way if you don't care too much about the other person's responses. If you just want someone to listen to your problems, AI could do that. AI could do that with 3 commands. And those commands are, oh really? Well, what are you going to do? Like, you could just talk to AI all day and it can just go, oh really? Well, what are you going to do? And shout out to Larry Miller, because that is based off of one of his jokes. He was a great comic a long time ago. I don't know what happened to that guy. I hope he's still around. He's really funny. I'd like to meet him one day. I really liked him when I was a kid. Oh no, don't look him up. No. Why? Is he still alive? I don't want to know he's dead.
What?
Yay! Larry Miller's still alive. Larry Miller. Cool. Where does he live? Doesn't say. That's okay. Probably Canada. I think he's Canadian. He seems nice, so I figure he's Canadian. You keep looking up his album titles. He is Canadian. He is Canadian. Is he?
Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City? I'm not driving out there. That's kind of funny. Oh, I like this guy. I'd like to meet him one day. Where's he live? 6 hours away. The hell with that. Can't drive 6 hours and just hope to bump into him. That's ridiculous.
Well, he must have been Mormon at some point.
Wow. I don't know if you guys heard that, but he said he must have been Mormon at some point because he lives in Utah. That, sir,
Have you ever been to
is...
Utah?
No, I have not been to Utah, and I don't plan to.
Mormons as far as the eye can see.
Really?
Less so nowadays, but when I was a kid, holy moly.
We gotta set up his mic over there so you guys can hear him. He's saying when he was a kid, he was in Utah, and it was Mormons as far as the eye can see. Did you see the whites of their white? Okay, I'll take that as a yes.
What I saw was a Mormon temple on every block. Well, actually, a Mormon church on every block, and then like 15 Mormon temples, like all within like a mile of each other. It was ridiculous.
Oh wow. I wonder how come like if there's so many Mormons in one place, how come they didn't come up with their own like Mormon entertainment thing like Bollywood, but it'd be like Mollywood for Mormons or something. You know what I mean?
I think that
That'd be funny.
At some point, if I remember correctly, I'm trying to.
Because I mean, one of the reasons we have one of the reasons there's so much entertainment out in the West is because some of the major groups back in the 30s, 20s, I don't know, when Bell was around, drove them out of the East. So they went to the West and said, we're going to just make movies out here because old Belly is...
They didn't like do like a what's it called? Like any wide-scale entertainment, but I remember all this. I remember playing in their concerts.
Oh, okay.
Plays. They saw seminars, which is just white people talking at you about.
Said Mormon plays suck. Never seen a Mormon play. I've never seen Book of Mormon either, although that's technically not a Mormon play per se.
Book of Mormon is hilarious.
I've not seen it. I hear it's good.
My mom got all pissy when it came out.
You know what's funny? Most Mormons I know, and this is getting way off topic from AI, but most Mormons I know are the ones who no longer like the church.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. I've known a couple of Mormons in my life. I've been to temple. I've been to a couple of different temples. Not even just Mormon. I've been to Jewish temple as well. But most of them I know are just do not like the church. Mostly because it's anti-gay stance or LGBTQ plus stance, I guess now.
Yeah, family proclamation to the world.
Yeah. But no, and one of the guys, when we were kids, oh man, he thought I was going to hell. He really, really thought I needed to be converted, and he tried. And good for him. It didn't work. But now he's not. He left. And I'm like, well, dude, what the hell? You can try to convert me all those years, and then you just leave? This is why I don't convert. Every time someone tells me to try to do something, they leave in a couple of years. So, nope. No, thank you. I'll just stay what I am. Thanks.
The person who got you into Starbucks do that?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and you can't hear him. But basically, I used to work for Starbucks, and the guy who got me into Starbucks left me right after we got done training. And I don't remember his name, but I can see his face. He went to Oregon to work at an IPA or some crap like that, and he abandoned me, and I will never forgive. Actually, I've met him 3 times since that time. He's still a cool guy, but I will never forgive him for leaving me. Don't worry, Aaron. We're gonna go and we're gonna turn that store around. Well, we got there 3 days later. He quit. This freaking guy. His parents are nice too. I met his parents. They're very sweet. They're very proud of him. Freaking guy abandoned me. Anyway, back to AI. AI will also abandon you.
What about AI art, like visual art in particular? What
Well,
do you think? A lot of artists are getting really, really pissy about that.
they are a lot. So he was saying that AI artists are getting really upset about AI art, and I get that. If you do basically art pieces, yes, AI art is coming for your job because AI art is very good at creating random pieces. If you are doing, like, say, art for like a calendar or a book where it's multiple images in your style, you're fine. Because AI can't copy. It can create images in styles, but it can never recreate that same style twice. Like, it's always a little different, always looks a little off from the previous style. And I think that's a good thing. And there's going to be people who are just making AI art, printing it on t-shirts or printing it on posters and selling it. The other thing is copyright. So copyright law is anything that has copyright has to be created by a person. That's the law. So if you create an AI image and slap it on a shirt, it's not yours. You don't own it. You cannot copyright it. You didn't create it. Where it gets kind of tricky is, and this is going to be legal battle for years, by the way. Let's say you have AI art, right? And then you edit it. Is that yours then? Because you've changed it. There's no original copyright. There's no copyright holder, so no one can sue you for that image. But you've also changed it, so I think technically it's yours. But they'd have to figure out, I don't know if there's a law about this, but how much has to be changed. There are things in place about changing art, because like Andy Warhol had that problem with his Marilyn Monroe forehead thing. Like someone tried to sue him for copyright, I believe. It's been years since I remember the story. And I think he won that case because he changed it enough. It wasn't just Marilyn Monroe's face anymore. It was like 4 of them, and they're all different colors. So I think the court ruled that it was different enough to where it was its own original image. And that's what you're going to have to do. Like, if you want the copyright on that image, you can have ChatGPT, not ChatGPT, sorry, you can have things like Midjourney or OpenAI's one, which I don't remember what it's called, but it's not great, or whatever, do it. But yeah, like it's, you might, but I don't see, if you change it, I don't see why it would be a legal problem, because who's going to challenge you? No one owns it. The other thing you have to be careful of is, some people need to look at in like terms of service. So let's say you use Midjourney, right? But they have a thing in there that says anything, oh, this is dirty. Anything created is theirs, but they're leasing it to you. That means technically anything you make, well, they can't copyright it either, though. I don't know how that works. Because even though they've made the program, they can't copyright the art, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of legal challenges to that, like a lot. Because it's generated. It's not something a human made. It's generated. It's computer generated. So technically, it doesn't have a copyright. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Copyright Office ruled that illustrations in a new comic book that were created by the AI program Midjourney are not protected by copyright law. Yeah. This decision comes as internet users become accustomed to a new world of content creation that increasingly relies on artificial intelligence tools like ChatGPT and Midjourney. Yeah. Oh yeah, the creators of these programs, Stability AI, Midjourney, and DeviantArt has one too, have been accused of copyright violations in a proposed class action suit launched by a trio of artists. I mean, technically, yeah, because they're using other people's art to train their AI to make art. There was a thing, I don't know if it's this case, but Getty Images is suing people because like one of the AIs that was making images, you could see the Getty image like logo like kind of partially scrubbed out or like made badly in the art that it was creating. So you definitely know it's getting its information from Getty Images. Okay. So it was against Stability AI. Okay. So Getty Images has filed a lawsuit against the artificial intelligence company Stability AI, accusing it of misusing over 12 million Getty photos to train its Stability Diffusion AI image generation system. What does misusing mean? What does that mean? Getty alleges that Stability AI is engaged in brazen infringement of the Getty Images intellectual property on a staggering scale. It's effectively trying to start a competing business. The photo agency is seeking up to $150,000 per infringement, or up to $1.8 trillion. Oh my gosh. The lawsuit was filed in Delaware U.S. District Court following the separate Getty lawsuit against Stability AI in the UK. Getty Images commenced legal proceedings in the High Court of Justice in London. $1.8 trillion. $150,000 per image? You know what? I think it's kind of odd that companies can just up the value of something when it comes to lawsuits. Like there's a guy, his name's Bowser. He worked with a group of people on it was a Nintendo hack thing where you could have your Nintendo your Nintendo Switch play like ROMs. It's supposed to be for homebrew applications. Sure. But anyway, Nintendo was charging this guy like, I don't know, $75,000 per game they said that was copyrighted because of this software or it was able to be played or something like that. It was some insane number. Like, okay, Getty Images are cute. No Getty image is worth $150,000. Not that I've not seen a Getty image where I'm like, you know what, that image, $150,000. I've not seen that. I don't know why they're allowed to do that. Like, I just feel like they just come up with like, what's the highest number we could possibly have or we think we'll actually get money from these people? Because Stability AI, I don't think they have $1.8 trillion. So what's, like, why go that high? I mean, it could be, I mean, in a lot of lawsuits, they will, like, the numbers will be super high, like blah, 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 sues blah, blah, blah for like 20 million. But then there's like different states have different caps on like what you can get. So even though you're suing for 20 million, even though the jury finds whatever the plaintiff or what the defense, whatever, comparable or guilty or whatever, the court will say, okay, well, the jury says 20 million. However, the limit of the state law is 350,000. So the most you're going to get is like 350,000. Doesn't matter how much they award you. They award you $1 billion. If the limit's 350,000, you're going to get 350,000. That's it. In different states, there are two different hashtag, not a lawyer. There are two different, I don't want to say payments, but there's basically like all right, this is damage that happened to me, and this is the emotional damage that happened to me payments. Some states, the damage is like a cap, but the emotional damage is not a cap. Hashtag, really not a lawyer. Hashtag really kind of not remember this properly. Look it up. In fact, why don't you go to one of the AI programs we talked about today and see what I'm talking about? So, yeah.
Punitive damages and something else. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, punitive damages, and yeah, there is something else. But there are limits. Like, rarely, even if a company gets sued for like billions of dollars, rarely is that going to be a payout. Now, you might be asking yourself, but wait, didn't Fox News just pay Dominion $787 million? You're right, that's a settlement. So, settlements can be whatever. So, oh, okay, compensatory, I can't read. Compensatory versus punitive damages?
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, those can be whatever. Settlements can be whatever. Why would Fox News pay that much money instead of going to trial? And knowing there's a cap. Now, I don't know what Dominion was asking for in punitive versus compensatory. I can't read. Compensatory. Compensatory. I think it's called like compensatory or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, why'd they do that? Well, because they don't want to go through a trial. That's why you do that. Because my guess is they felt the damage of a trial was worth more than $787 million. That means there was a lot of stuff they didn't want getting out there, which I don't agree with, but I understand. I think that should have gone to trial. That would have been hilariously wonderful to watch. What time is it, Chris? I can't see the time.
We are past the hour mark.
Oh, okay. What time is it?
It is 5:03.
Oh, okay. 5:03. Let's go. Well, are we got any viewers? Anyone watching us? Anyone watching me rant like an idiot? Anyone watching me rant like an idiot? No. It's okay. It's my fault for not wearing a bikini top.
I see.
I mean, that's what I'm going to do at some point. Is just wear a bikini top and hope for the best. Well, let's wrap this up. So, in conclusion, AI is a tool. Is it going to change people's lives? Yes. Some for the better. There will be medical research that will come out from AI that will help a lot of people. I really personally hope that it helps people with diabetes, like I have. I really hope it helps people stop buying what's that med I can't get anymore? No. There's a medication. It's like Ozempic. It's called Wegovy. It works really well for me. Like, I have seriously, my sugars have dropped. I've lost weight on it. It is a wonderful medication that I cannot get anymore because, as far as my understanding is, a lot of people, not celebrities, are buying it by the ton for the weight loss properties of it, even though they don't have diabetes. I'm sure there are some out there with diabetes who are buying it, and I'm fine with that. I am not fine with people buying it just for the weight loss, because that is a diabetic medicine. It also has weight loss properties to it, which is great because that also helps people with diabetes. But it's a diabetic medicine, and people with diabetes can't get it because other people are buying it by the fucking ton or whatever. Sorry, whoops, by the ton. So hopefully AI might help with that in terms of maybe finding another medicine or something. There are people who are going to lose their jobs over AI. Copy, people who write copy, like ad copy or whatever, they just write stuff. It's not really critical thinking stuff. It's just like, like silly ad things like, oh, our tea is the best tea. You love our tea. It's black just like all the other teas, but our tea has a fresh taste of red fern or whatever the hell. Those people are not going to have a job. AI can do that. That's not a really creative thing. That's gonna maybe patent attorneys. Oh yeah, patent attorneys might have a problem too. I mean, that's just, it depends on if they allow AI in court, but that's all paperwork mostly, right?
Yeah, it's mostly paperwork, but then you have to basically you have to phrase, especially if you're like an invention patent attorney, you have to phrase the copyright in a way that covers the product in a quote logical way unquote.
Okay.
And that makes sure that no Joe Schmo can find any kind of loophole in it.
Okay. So you can't hear Chris. He was saying that basically patent attorneys have to phrase things in a way where someone can't find a loophole and basically copy your patent or whatever, or infringe on your patent. So, but still, that's a lot of plugging in, because once you have a script done, you're basically just plugging in the main words, right? Maybe. But those kind of things, done. And that's a lot of like desk jobs. A lot of desk jobs are going to go. That could also be the reason why a lot of tech people got laid off in the past couple of months, because it's a lot of tech jobs just pushing code. It's not crazy inventive code or anything. It's just, they're just coding. But if you're going to have an AI do that instead, companies are going to do that. I don't know, but like all things, it's just a tool. Like, it's just another tool. Like, even experts have lost ground in the past decade since the invention of the internet, because now you can look stuff up. You don't have to go find a guy and pay him $200 to tell you about why that mountain's red or whatever. You can look it up now. It's gonna be the same thing. So they'll be good, they'll be bad. I do believe, though, it's going to start getting walled off. That happens all the time. It happened when I was a kid and everyone was walling off their browsers. Netscape Navigator had their file format. And, God, what was the other one back then? There's some other ones, but everyone had their walled garden. They're going to do the same thing with AI. It'll be a walled garden for a couple of years, and then people will be like, okay, tired of this walled garden crap. Can we all share information again? Which I think is the good thing. I think it's the best thing. But on that note, that's going to be it for us. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. We will be editing this for YouTube, and that will be the end of the show. We'll see you in the next one as another YouTuber my wife loves to watch says bye-bye.